A great house stands tall against the fading light. Its windows glow like memories, but behind the beauty lies a truth we all must face. Time changes everything. And now, as Downton Abbey 3 approaches, it promises to be the most emotional story yet. One that may, for over a decade, Downton Abbey has been more than just a period drama. It has become a living memory for its fans. A world where tradition and change fight for balance, and where family, loyalty, and love are tested in every generation. The Crawley family and their household have shown us both grandeur and struggle, moments of joy and deep sorrow. The Abbey itself, its great halls, silent corridors, and endless gardens, has always stood as a symbol of continuity, a silent witness to history moving forward. When the series began, we were introduced to an England on the edge of change. Old traditions were colliding with new ways of life, and the Crawleys had to adapt in order to survive. Over the years, we have seen their world shaken by war, loss, and social upheaval, but also lifted by love, resilience, and hope. For viewers, Downton became a place to escape, but also a mirror of our own lives. Because even within its grandeur, the struggles felt human and real. The films carried that same spirit. The first movie celebrated royalty, splendor, and the enduring power of the estate. The second movie pushed even further, exploring the bonds of family and the idea that nothing lasts forever. These stories have built towards something more, something heavier, something final. And now, with Downton Abbey 3, we stand at the edge of what may be the grand farewell. This new film isn't just another story, it's a chance to say goodbye to characters we have grown with, to a house that has become a second home for millions, and to an era that defined the meaning of class, duty, and love. Every detail we know so far hints at a story where emotions will take center stage, where laughter may be shadowed by tears, and where the future of Downton itself may finally be decided. Bring both celebration and heartbreak. Every story has a beginning, and every story has an end. The tale of Downton Abbey 3 seems to be heading toward a chapter unlike any before. What we know so far is not just about returning faces and familiar settings. It's about a story shaped by time, legacy, and the weight of goodbye. The Crawley family will once again gather under the great roof of Downton. Lady Mary, carrying the responsibilities of the estate, remains at the heart of the drama. Her sharp intelligence and strong will have always been the shield that guards Downton's future. But whispers suggest this film will test her in ways we have never seen, forcing her to make choices between tradition and survival, between family and self. Lord Grantham, the steady pillar of the household, also returns. Yet with age comes fragility, and many wonder whether his storyline will carry the heaviest emotions of all. Could this be the film where we finally face the loss of the man who has kept Downton alive through crisis after crisis? His presence has always been a symbol of stability, but even the strongest walls can crack. Alongside them, beloved characters return, each carrying the weight of years gone by. The staff, who once bustled through the halls with youth and energy, are older now, wiser, but no less loyal. From Mr. Carson's steadfast dignity to Mrs. Hughes's quiet strength, every familiar face brings with it the reminder that time changes us all. And though not all details of the plot have been revealed, one truth is certain. This film will not shy away from endings. The second film left us with a taste of finality. Weddings, new beginnings, and also heartbreaking goodbyes. Downton Abbey 3 will pick up those threads, weaving them into a story that may close more doors than it opens. That is why so many are calling it the most emotional installment yet. Because it isn't just a continuation, it is a culmination. When we think of Downton, we think of elegance, laughter echoing in the drawing rooms, the clink of crystal glasses at dinner, and whispered secrets in dimly lit halls. But in this new film, those same images may carry a weight of sorrow. A toast may no longer be to the future, but to the past. A smile may hold the shadow of farewell. Every moment could feel like the last. And so, even before the film reaches our screens, the audience waits with both hope and dread. Hope for the beauty and love that Downton always delivers. Dread for the tears that are almost certain to follow. Every great story reaches a point where the heart takes over from the mind. For Downton Abbey 3, this is not a tale of grand parties or glittering gowns. It is a story about the passage of time and the emotions that come with it. At the center lies the truth that no house, no family, and no tradition can escape change. The Abbey, as magnificent as it is, has always been more than stone and glass. It has been a keeper of memories. Its walls have heard laughter, arguments, confessions, and goodbyes. And now, those same walls may echo with the heaviest silence yet. The emotional weight of this film comes from what we all know deep inside. Nothing lasts forever. The Crawleys, like all families, are bound to lose, to let go, to step aside for the next generation. The beauty of Downton's story has always been its mix of joy and sorrow. But this film may tip the balance towards something even more personal. It may force us to watch characters we love face their final chapters. Themes of legacy run through every frame. What does it mean to leave something behind? Is Downton a house that will continue to stand proud? Or is it a symbol of a world that must fade with time? Lady Mary's journey might show us the cost of carrying that legacy, the loneliness of responsibility, the sacrifices required to preserve history. Lord Grantham's story may remind us of the fragility of life itself and the courage it takes to accept endings. But it isn't only about loss. It is about connection, about the threads that tie the upstairs and downstairs together, about the way a single house can become home to so many different lives. The emotional heart of this film is not simply the tears we may shed, but the reminder that love, loyalty, and memory are stronger than time itself. For the audience, this means we are not just watching another chapter. We are saying farewell to a family that feels like our own. Each scene may carry double meaning: a smile as a goodbye, a laugh as a memory, a door closing as a final bow. It is this awareness, this shadow of ending, that makes the emotions cut deeper than ever before. So when we say this will be the most emotional Downton Abbey yet, it is not because of one moment, but because of the weight of all the moments combined. A decade of storytelling, countless characters we have loved, and the realization that even in fiction, time moves forward, and nothing can stay the same. Every character at Downton Abbey carries more than a role. They carry a piece of our hearts. And in Downton Abbey 3, those hearts may be tested like never before. This is not just another chapter in their lives. It may be the last time we see them together in this way, beneath the Abbey's great roof. Lady Mary stands at the center of it all. Once the rebellious daughter, she has grown into the guardian of the estate. She is sharp, strong, and determined, but her strength has always come at a cost. In this film, her story may confront her with the greatest question of all. Can she preserve Downton without losing herself? Will she continue carrying the weight of generations, or will she find a way to break free? Her arc has always been one of duty versus desire, and now that conflict may reach its most emotional point. Then there is Lord Grantham. For years, he has been the foundation, the steady figure who embodies tradition and honor. But whispers suggest that his story may turn into one of loss, perhaps even farewell. The idea of saying goodbye to Robert Crawley, the man who has fought for Downton with every breath, is almost unthinkable. Yet this is exactly why the film's emotional power is so strong, because it may ask us to let go of someone we thought would always be there. The supporting characters are no less important. Mr. Carson, the ever-loyal butler, may face the hardest truth of all. That time spares no one. His devotion to the house is unmatched, but even he cannot serve forever. Mrs. Hughes, with her quiet wisdom, may have to guide him through this painful realization. Their story, built on dignity and partnership, could remind us that endings are not failures, but part of the journey. Even among the younger generation, there may be turning points. New love, new beginnings, and new dreams may rise, but they come at the cost of leaving something behind. Weddings may feel bittersweet. Births may carry the shadow of goodbyes, and every joy may be tinged with the knowledge that change is inevitable. What makes these arcs powerful is not just the characters themselves, but what they represent. Lady Mary embodies the future. Lord Grantham embodies the past. The staff embody loyalty and service. Together, their stories weave into one final message: that life is precious, that endings are inevitable, and that love, whether romantic, familial, or found in friendship, is what truly lasts. As the film unfolds, audiences will not simply watch these characters act out their final scenes. We will feel their struggles, their triumphs, and their goodbyes as if they were our own. And perhaps, in their farewells, we will be reminded of the people and places we have had to let go of in our own lives. This is why Downton Abbey 3 promises to break our hearts and heal them at the same time. It is not about spectacle, it is about humanity. About seeing people we have loved for years walk toward their destinies. Some toward new beginnings, others toward their final bow. What makes Downton Abbey different from any other period drama is not only its elegance, its costumes, or its sweeping historical setting. It is the way it makes us feel. For years, audiences have not just watched the Crawley family, they have lived with them. The Abbey has become more than a house on a screen. It has become a place we return to, like visiting old friends. We laughed when the Dowager Countess delivered her sharp, witty remarks. We grieved when characters we loved were taken too soon. We felt the quiet pride of Carson's loyalty, the tenderness of Anna and Bates's love, and the strength of Mary as she stepped into leadership. These emotions are not just part of the story. They are part of us. And that is why Downton Abbey 3 will strike deeper than ever before. This final film is not just about the Crawleys. It is about everyone who has grown up alongside them. Fans have carried these stories through their own lives, finding pieces of themselves in each character. Some see their parents in Lord and Lady Grantham, struggling to hold on to tradition in a changing world. Some see themselves in Lady Mary, torn between responsibility and personal freedom. Others connect with the staff, who remind us that loyalty, kindness, and friendship often matter more than status or wealth. The emotional connection also lies in the passage of time. When Downton Abbey first arrived on our screens, the world was different. We were different. Watching these characters grow older has reminded us that we too have grown older. Their joys mirrored our joys. Their losses mirrored our losses. This final chapter may feel like closing a diary we have kept for years, full of memories too precious to forget. And so, when the lights dim and Downton Abbey 3 begins, the audience will carry more than popcorn into the theater. They will carry a decade of love for these characters, a longing for the safety of this fictional home, and a fear of what it means to say goodbye. This is why the emotions will be so overwhelming, not because the film forces them, but because we have already been living with them for years. In the end, Downton Abbey 3 may remind us of something powerful, that stories live on in us, that even when a series ends, its characters remain alive in memory, in laughter, in the comfort they once gave us. And though this may be a farewell on screen, for the audience, Downton Abbey will never truly be gone. Every story has been leading here, every dinner in the grand hall, every whispered secret in the servants' quarters, every smile, every tear. It has all been preparing us for this final chapter. Downton Abbey 3 is not just a continuation, it is a reckoning, a moment where the past and the future collide, and nothing will ever be the same again. The Abbey has always been more than stone walls and chandeliers. It has been a heartbeat, a living, breathing character in its own right. But now, even this great house stands at a crossroads. Will it remain a symbol of legacy, or will it fade into memory? That question sits at the center of this story, heavy with meaning, as if the fate of Downton itself mirrors the fate of everyone inside it. The emotions waiting for us are not loud or rushed. They are slow, deep, and unstoppable, like the toll of a bell at dusk. A father may say his last goodbye. A daughter may step into her future alone. A loyal servant may close the doors for the final time. Each moment will not be written as just an ending, but as a truth we all know too well, that life moves on, no matter how tightly we hold it. This is why Downton Abbey 3 may be remembered not only as a film, but as a farewell to a world that gave us comfort, to characters who became part of our lives, and to an era that has finally run its course. The beauty of this ending will not be in its grandeur, but in its honesty. In its quiet recognition that love, loss, and legacy are the very things that make life worth living. As the credits approach, audiences may feel a strange mix of sorrow and gratitude. Sorrow for the goodbyes they must say, but gratitude for having lived alongside the Crawleys for so long. This film is not just a story on a screen. It is a mirror of our own passage through time. That is why it will leave us shaken, moved, and changed. So prepare yourself. Prepare for tears, for laughter through tears, for the silence that lingers after a final goodbye. Because when Downton Abbey 3 arrives, it will not just tell us a story, it will close a chapter of our story. Like Downton Abbey does not truly end, it lingers. It stays with us long after the screen fades to black. The laughter of the Crawleys, the wisdom of the Dowager, the loyalty of the staff, all of it remains, like echoes in the halls of the Abbey itself. Downton Abbey 3 will not just be another film. It will be a farewell, a celebration, and perhaps the last time we walk these familiar corridors. For fans, this is more than just watching a movie. It is saying goodbye to a family we have grown with, to a home that has sheltered us through joy and heartbreak. It is about closing the book with both sadness and gratitude, knowing that we have shared something rare, a story that feels alive. And so, as the curtains fall, one truth will remain. Downton Abbey has given us more than entertainment. It has given us memories, emotions, and a sense of belonging to a world that will never truly leave us. So prepare your hearts. Because when Downton Abbey 3 arrives, it will be more than a film. It will be an ending we never wanted, and yet one we will treasure forever. This is not just the story of Downton Abbey. This is our story too.